Ooh, that was loud. It's early in the morning, so let's try this. Yeah, that's better. Today, we're having another episode of Angela's Homeschool. I'm so looking forward to this. Another day of schooling has not yet begun, but I have about 2 hours before the kiddos get up. And I was looking through some of the old writings that I used to do. And at one time, my youngest child had a special diagnosis of autism. And there came a point where I got so involved in all her therapies. I had the rehab audiologist, the specialist that she taught at college. She was one of 2 people in the state qualified to do the job that she did. And she was in the home 6 hours a week. And then there was the physical therapist. And then, it was person after person. And at that time, I had to schedule the schooling around all this. Any socialization that we would do, I had to do around this. And guess who got left behind? It was myself. And I had no one to blame but myself. I was a single mother, and everything was on my shoulders. I am still the cook, the janitor, the principal. I don't even have a co-principal. How drastic is that? So, and sometimes I wish I did, but that person's not here yet. That person hasn't been found yet. And I'm not going to find that person unless I make some time for me. I cannot be so self-absorbed in my children's lives. So, and I have 2 children. But I wrote this 2011. And I wrote it for a friend whose child was in much more serious situation than my child had been. My child was recovered from autism. They said she would never speak. She speaks 2 languages. We're working on 2 more. We'll see if that ever works. But we have to expect more of our children, because if we do not, then who will? And that goes for public school children and home educated children. One or the other. So, again, I wrote this for my friend who was so overwhelmed at the moment. And this came from my pain. I think wisdom comes from pain, healed pain. And, it was like that. So this poem's entitled, More Than My Child's Diagnosis. My child has autism. Sometimes I think autism has me. Broken dishes, extra large diapers by the case, 3 o'clock appointments that never end, marks on my walls, tears in my couch. Autism has left its mark on my house. I sit for a moment in my old comfy chair. Memories stray to thoughts of people's carefree lives, seemingly not for me. Gentle breeze caresses my face. Glancing out the window, moving the curtain, the sun touches my hand that is full of possibilities, my arms that are full of love, my mind that continually thinks outside of the box. I hear a loud noise from the heart of the house. I am involved in a world that is unaware, circling around me. So here I am, rising, standing now, tired but not giving up, loving and being loved. I am genius personified, as I love with all my heart. I am more than my child's diagnosis. I am me. So I wrote that for a friend of mine. But honestly, truthfully, that was for myself. I enjoyed writing that one. A lot of the poems, off-the-cuff poems, are really quick to write. And then I clean up the grammar. I really didn't clean that one up. And you can tell. But the heart of the matter is there. My my writing, my poems are usually more visual in nature. So, but that is homeschooling with a diagnosis. It's not a pretty picture. Now, perhaps your child has a cancer, something that is more disabling, definitely more disabling. But you have to remember you. You really have to learn to delegate. I've said this in the last 3 podcasts. It's about delegation. If you start a homeschool co-op on your own and you have people on your board, learn to delegate. If you really want to educate, you need to delegate. I don't know why I'm rhyming so much this morning, but I am, and there must be a reason. There has to be a reason. I said in my last podcast that a Methodist minister, upon her benediction of the service, the conclusion of her service, would say, I hope that you meet someone this week that makes you uncomfortable. And then know that God has led you to that person. And then she would go on. Sometimes we are the person that makes us uncomfortable. Because we're trying to be super mom, super teacher, super Christian for some people. And then if you have a child with special needs, that's a whole another ball of wow, really? Yes, all children are a blessing, but the responsibilities that come with them are sometimes overwhelming. And you have to meet that person that makes you uncomfortable. And that can be you. That could be you listening to my podcast. If you met yourself, would you be comfortable? Would you be comfortable with you? So treat yourself with kindness as you would that person that makes you feel uncomfortable once you realized that you were led to that person by God. Would you not be more kind to that person? So go look in the mirror. Meet the person that makes you uncomfortable. Delegate. Make time to have a bubble bath. Take a walk. Get someone to take care of the kids and go to a writer's group. Do something that you're passionate about. Go in the early morning, get a friend to watch the kids before they wake up, and go photograph the sunrise. Maybe over a little pond or a high point where you walk through, where just everything's beautiful. Take that picture and look at it. Those things matter. You cannot forget you. It's important. It's important enough for me to talk to you about. So let's see what we can get done. In the next couple of podcasts are going to be a little bit more fun. I will be reading off some of my vaccine injury poems of my daughter and that I wrote. I wrote as a way to just get through the situation and through all the therapy, which was overwhelming. So, I thank you for listening to another edition of Angela's Homeschool. I look forward to your questions. As always, I'm on Facebook, Angela's Homeschool. I'm on Twitter, Angela's School, or the full name is Angela's Homeschool. Or you can send a message to me via Homeschool Truth. I'm tired. homeschooltruth@yahoo.com. So I guess I need to take care of me today. Maybe I did this podcast for me to remind myself I do not have to be a superwoman. I think that's it. I think it was for me, not you. But I'm glad you're sitting there listening with me. I'm not so alone.